Hi guys, my name is Deep Lecture. In this video, we are going to see the booting process of ASA, Cisco Firewall. So let's begin. First, I have a laptop that is connected to the firewall and I'm going to use two of the media. And one would be my console cable, another one would be my USB converter. That means the console cable is actually connected to the firewall console port, and then there is a DB9 connector. That female DB9 connector is connected to my USB DB9 connector, and that USB DB9 connector is having the USB on the other end, and that USB is connected to my laptop. And let's verify when it's connected to the laptop. There you can see the PC icon. Right click on it and go to manage. Going to manage, there you can see the device manager. Just click on the device manager. There you can see port, comp and LPT, line print terminal. Just expand it. There you can see it's comp 7. I know this is my USB that is connected to the firewall. Why? Because I always use the same port. If you use another port, it's going to show you with another comp port. So I know this is comp 7. If you see any of the exclamation mark before your comp port, that means the driver has not been installed. A driver is some kind of software that drives your hardware. Without that software, this hardware cannot work. So like this, if there is any exclamation mark in front of your serial comp port, that means the driver has not been yet installed. So you can just go to internet and download it by yourself by searching what kind of driver do you want. Or when you buy this type of USB converter, you get a CD, and within that CD you have got a software, so you can install it manually or by yourself. So this is how you can install it, and I have got my driver installed in my PC, so it's working just fine. Just remember this comp 7. Why? Because when I'm going to use my console, just like my secure CRT, I have to mention that comp 7 within that secure CRT. So this is my console. I'm going to use secure CRT. Just double click on it, and by double clicking on it, there you can see the sessions. Just close this and click on file and click on quick connect. When you click on quick connect, there you can see the host name. Before even typing in the host name, just click on the drop down list. There select serial cable, right? So when you select serial, it comes up just like this one, right? Port. So I'm going to select that comp 7 that has been defined in the device manager, right? So it should be similar to that one. Baud rate, just select 9600 from the drop down list, and it should be 9600 by default. If you change it, that means it's not going to work. So by default, it's 9600 on all device, and let it be the default, the remaining ones, and just click on connect. When you click on connect, there you can see nothing is available in your console. So what I'm going to do is I have to turn on my firewall. So when I turn on my firewall, it's going to start up just like that. So I'm going to turn it on. There it turns on. So you can hear the noise, right? And booting system, please wait. So just wait, and it's searching for the operating system. It's going to go to the flash. If the flash has the operating system, then it's going to boot up. With ASA, there is a countdown of 10 seconds. With that 10 seconds, you can actually select the operating system, or you can go to the remote mode. There you can see that this is the booting of countdown seconds. It has 10 seconds of countdown. If I hit escape in this countdown, that means it's going to take me to the remote mode. This is my ASA operating system, disk 0. So it's booting up from my flash drive and it's loading. My platform is ASA 5510 series of adaptive security appliance Cisco Firewall. So I was talking about the countdown seconds, right? Within 10 seconds, if you hit escape, that means it's going to give an access to the remote mode. If you hit spacebar, that means it's going to boot up quickly. If you just remain silent, that means it's going to take you to the normal mode as well. So it doesn't really matter if you push space or not, right? So when we are going to perform the password recovery on the later videos, I'm going to show you how to go to the remote mode. But in routers, it is not like that. In routers, you have to actually hit Control plus break button to go to the remote mode when it starts up. So now power on self-test in process. So hardware initialization and everything is fine. So when you boot up your firewall, at first the newly installed operating system shows you this prompt, and this is like pre-configure firewall now through interactive prompts. What do you mean by interactive prompts? It means the firewall is going to ask you, like, just give it the name to the firewall. So I'm going to type in the name of the firewall, then the firewall asks me, okay, just give it the IP address. So I'm not going to go through that interactive prompts. I'm going to skip this. So I'm going to type no so that I can skip the interactive prompts. I'm going to install and I'm going to configure by myself. So this is how it looks like. There you can see it is Cisco ASA. This is the user exit mode of an ASA. If you type in question mark, it shows you that these commands can actually be typed in this mode. So I'm going to go to the user exit mode and type enable. That gives me an access to the privilege mode. But the thing is that before getting an access to privilege mode, it asks you for the password. So by default there is no password in Cisco ASA. So just hit enter to bypass it. There you go. This is the privilege mode. In privilege mode, what kind of commands can you actually use or type in? So I'm going to hit question mark. There you can see on the left side it's going to show you the commands. On the right side it's going to show you the description of the commands. So if you hit enter, it shows you line by line description and commands option. If you hit spacebar, that means it's going to give you page by page information. So this is how you can actually get an command help or option that you wanted to use in this mode. So normally we use show commands or verification commands in the privilege mode. So here, let's see show version. First of all, I'm going to show you what kind of version you are running in this ASA. Show version, hit enter. And there you can see it's like Cisco Adaptive Security Appliance Software version 9.1.7. That means it's using 9.x, the latest operating system in this ASA. And the hardware is ASA 5510. DIX 0, that means that this is the operating system that's running from the flash. There you can see the name of the operating system. And if I hit space, before hitting space, there you can see it's 1 GB of RAM installed in this firewall. It's Celeron and having 1600 megahertz of processing speed. Flash by default is 256 MB installed within it, and you can install externally. I showed you in the previous video that there is an external flash space there. You can externally add flash, right? And if I hit space, there you can see the interfaces in the firewall, and we can actually assign IP address on those interfaces. There's a management interface that is used for the management purpose, for sending syslog messages or controlling the firewall out of band. There is a license features for this platform. What do you mean by features? These features are available in this firewall 5510. If you don't have any of the activation key, or if you haven't registered this firewall, that means there could be maybe security context could be 0 over here. I have activated this firewall with the keys, so it's showing me that security context to any kind of premium pairs is 2. If you don't have activation key, I have actually experienced that even SSH does not work only telnet works if you don't have activation key. Then when I activated it, it was like working. Like I didn't even know that activation key is that much important for SSH as well. Oh my god. Alright, so these are the features that can be run in this firewall, and there are a lot more. So by default, security context is 0 and connect premium pairs is 0. Security context is just like when you actually divide a physical switch into multiple logical switches, like creating VLANs, right? And when you actually break down a physical router into multiple logical routers with the help of VRF, that is how you can break up a physical firewall into multiple logical firewalls. That is known as security context. That means when I activated this firewall, it was 0 before activation, and after activation it showed me that 2. That means I can break this firewall logically into 2. That's how it is. There you can see the ASA platform 5510. That is the serial number. Without this serial number, you cannot get this activation key of this firewall. And there's my activation key. And this activation key does not work with anyone, right? It only works with this ASA. Why? Because this activation key is actually generated through this serial number. So configuration register is 0x. This is the normal mode. If you want to go for the password recovery, they could be 0x41. So this is the normal mode, and we are working in the normal mode, so everything is fine. There you go, the Cisco ASA privilege mode. So I'm going to type show interface IP brief. This shows you the interfaces information, and it is administratively down. No IP address has been assigned. So this is more or less you can get the overview of firewall. You will be having like global configuration mode for globally configuring this firewall, such as configure terminal, just like the router and switches. When you try to get an access to the global configuration mode, it asks you like anonymous reporting to help improve. If you have got a registered device, it's no problem. You can actually just tell yes. But I'm going to skip it because I'm in a practice mode, so it's just like that. So you can name your firewall as host name ASA1. There the firewall default name is Cisco ASA. When I hit enter, it shows you that the ASA1 is the new name for this firewall. And show running config, that shows you the running configuration. And by default there is no configuration other than the host name that I've changed. So at present it's ASA1. Show startup config. There you can see no configuration is in the NVRAM. That means if I reboot this device, it's going to start up just like the new installed operating system. And did it get something? I typed show startup in the global configuration mode without the do command. That means do command is not used in ASA. See, do show startup config. It doesn't work in the ASA. So you can actually go to any mode and you can use the privilege command without actually defining the do command. So show interface IP brief. This is the command for verifying the interfaces that I have showed you previously. But did you notice that the command is like show interface IP brief? It's not like show IP interface brief that you actually define in your router and switch, right? So this is how you can actually verify, and this is it for the boot up and how to assign the host name for the ASA. And we verified the versions, we verified the license, and we verified the interfaces. We did use the show command without defining the do command, and it really works fine within the ASA. And that is it in this video. Thanks for watching. Thank you guys.